ask on that note, I think there are many who want to ask questions from the floor, and I don't want to monopolize here. How many of you agree and see this as a good idea? How many of you think this is a good idea? Okay. How many think it will work? Very good number. Now let me ask my last question to you, sir. When I read it, and I had a chance only to read it in English, of course, the three words, PARI-RIHAN, and RIHAN, meaning the same thing. So, as a man who wants to take a risk, my question to you as the offerer of the risk is, what are we betting on? How much are we betting? And what are our odds? And finally, when and how will we collect our winnings?
Very good. Very fantastic question. Thank you. I don't know. I am not a prophet. But I know something. We are going to start. So we are giving ourselves measurable goals, because we're going to have a business plan. We're going to give it to the board who are going to pay the money. Actually, I am paying myself money as much, so I'm not asking anybody to pay more than what I'm doing. We're going to have a measurable thing. The first measurable point will be, we want the water project to be in the speech of every single candidate to the future parliament of 2013. In the speech. If we succeed that, the first year, we are already in business. The next year, the goal is, we want those who promised that they will endorse the project of the water to deliver. So the next year will be more difficult. We're gonna ask for a law to be voted by the parliament to establish this company. I'm gonna call it now Libanese des Eaux for the sake of it, which belongs to the structure. That's the two measurable things. We are not gonna talk about national conscience. This is the outcome. We're going to talk about tangible federative projects. And if we succeed to have the law voted, believe me, I swear to you, I can make a pledge, we are going to be in very good shape. Because if it proves to work, then immediately we'll go into the electricity project. Immediately. And then we will be far away the vociferations of the current politicians who want $1 billion for one station here, $1 billion for another station. You know about electricity? Something. You know that in 20 years' time, there will be no more fuel engine, thermic engine in the world. Just I made a calculation with consultants, how much energy, electrical energy, we consume today in our cars. You don't need $1 billion. You need $20 billion to run the cars electrically. What are we going to do about it? It's in 20 years' time. It's not the engine that one minister wants to buy, the generator wants to buy, that's going to solve it. It's huge as a problem.
I raise my water to you.
Okay. Thank you. We'll open the floor for questions.
I'm sorry.
Please, can you keep them questions and not speeches? It's very important, so that I don't interrupt you.
That this is going to take, I mean, you talk about the board of 150 members and some NGOs you want to mobilize, but I still do not get what is the real format it's going to take. One. Two, concerning the board members, I mean, is it going to be only on technocratic basis? Because then again, aren't you going to fall again into having quotas of you have to have X number of Sunnis and Shiites and Maronites and everything? And three, I mean, forgive me. Yeah.
One per person, please.
I still have to
stick to one, because
just one more thing. I mean, forgive me to be skeptical about the water thing, but why, for example, not public schools, not something that actually would talk more to citizens? Why would citizens who do not have
Let me start with the last one.
Yeah, okay, sure.
One public school, because education is very tricky. What education? We are so much entrenched in culture that everyone has got his own education. So we cannot, I will never start with education. Education is a luxury for a society that is really economically viable. So I go back to why water. If you can get me one wealth that can really federate the country, beside water, please give it to me, more than welcome. Point two, water is strategically very important. And point three, water is giving you $5 billion immediately to harvest. So it's a very strong motivation. To the other point, the board is definitely made of a mixture of confessions. We are not going to pick up a board that is monochromatic. And you will notice that in the future that the achievers are from all the religions of Lebanon. And that is really brilliant. You don't have one that is an achiever. You will see that in all our communities you have achievers from all the communities. So rather than selecting communities, selecting achievers will immediately get you to select communities. Because no community have got the privilege of creating its own achievers only.
Do you have other questions, please?
Yeah.
What makes Okay, my name is Stephanie Rashid. I'm from Hagazian University.
From?
Hagazian University. Okay, I want to ask you, what makes your project so unique that it will make me want to go back to my university and propose it to the students?
Very good question. Have you heard about such a project before in Lebanon? Have you heard about a 5-year plan asking for all Lebanese to contribute in a company that is a mixed company that will bring the interest of people and government together? Have you heard about anything like that? And have you heard about a group that decides from the beginning not to have a political ambition when he performs?
But so many people have had this option, maybe not anyone, like, no one has implemented it or started it, but everyone has had this option.
I don't think so, because again, I forgot the last parameter. A company, a group where there is no leadership, no personal leadership. So what I have seen already all over the place was that there was somebody doing it. If I feel I'm talking myself, please, I'm presenting. But it's not my leadership. It's going to be the board leadership. So that's what you can go back to Hagazian and tell them. And if they are not convinced, call me to Hagazian. I will go and explain to them why we're going to do it. But please do it. You all raise your hands. Please, I want you all to enter Facebook, Farid Chehab, and start commenting. Because it's very important to carry on. The site is PARI-RIHAN. Is the book itself. I need you to start spreading because we need the young generation to mobilize.
Next question.
Hi, Ziad Fouri. I don't want to sound pessimistic, but I also don't want to sound...
A question.
Yeah, that's a question. But what if the people in power, like Yasser said, decide not to support this because somebody wants to buy something or he wants to make his billion? What do you do then? Yani, I admire what you said. Okay, you want them to use it in their speech for their 2013 election. That's lovely. But how many laws have been voted in Parliament? And nothing happened.
Absolutely.
Because someone decided that it's not good enough for them. What do we do?
Okay, very good question.
Thank you.
That's what we want to do. We want to create public opinion. We do not have public opinion. That's what you need to do. Politicians are very coward. If they feel that you have on the side, which is Lebanese Desor, whatever, 2 million people who are asking for this project, they will think twice before fighting you. But nobody had done it until now. Let me give you an example. Recently, there was a building that collapsed on the poor people, 2610. The next day, public opinion mobilized. In 1 week time, the bridge of Jaladid disappeared. We are not going to kill 26 people to get this project going on. I'm not going to throw them in water. But I'm telling you, but what I'm telling you is that if you create public opinion, you are the king. Vox populi, vox dei. And the secret weapon at the end, here too, when all the smart asses who are elected do not want to vote the law, we will raise public opinion again to go and have a manifestation of 1 million people asking for the legitimate management of Lebanese water. That's my answer to you.
That's your Arab Spring angle.
I'm going to call it water spring.
Next question. We'll have to take some
صاحب
questions
الحق
from the crowd.
سلطان.
Hi, Pierre Daher. I have a question. I believe the project is very good, but regardless of the opinions, the different opinions, what happens if this commodity, the government for some reason realizes that we need to capitalize on it and they start creating the dams? What would happen to the structure and the company and the money invested? Because the plan to create 20 water dams have been there for 10 years, they just haven't agreed together to do it or to start with which one. We saw the opening of a dam a month back, and now we're hoping to have 3, 4 within the next 3 years. So what would happen?
Good question. Let me tell you, it's not only about dams. Dams is only one part of the project. As I said earlier, the project is about managing all the water resources. It's about dams, it's about canalization, it's about agriculture. Today we need a huge effort to start preparing for the agriculture, which is now a nightmare. You know that you are spending 40% more water than you need for watering. And then you talk about recuperation, creating network for recuperating the water, and especially the water that goes into the cities. They fall down and they go into the sea, you don't recuperate them. So it's a big project. So forgive me to forget. It's a global project. It's a wide project. So what is the question? What did you asked that I didn't get? Sorry, repeat the question.
Okay, so I'm asking, what if the government and the 7 princes decide together to dissect this water pie because of the potential benefits?
So now I got it. So it will happen. What will happen is exactly what happened during 65 years. It's gonna go to drain, going down the drain. It will stop. Because when the minister will change, the project will stop. You know the story of the Shabruh Dam. One politician wanted it to happen in Shabruh, and another politician did not want to happen in Shabruh. But the other politician had the power to do the ducts from Shabruh to the region. So one built the dam, and the other, to retaliate, did not build the ducts. So Shabruh is useless today. And this is what will happen all the time. So in order to make it work, you need a law voted by the parliament who will say this is a project for a national company which is managed, like I try to explain, which will go despite politicians, despite government, that will have a business plan for the 5 years to come and will deliver year after year after year according to regulations. That's the solution. No. Gentlemen, do not look at what happened. All what you are hearing is fresh and new.